This is Fox 13 News.
Today we're getting our first look at a shipwreck along the shore of the Great Salt Lake. Typically not a place you would think of a shipwreck, right? Historians believe the ship could have been part of a fleet that helped move supplies for Utah's railroads.
Fox 13's Aaron Cox has the story from that shipwreck on the shore of the Great Salt Lake.
Park manager noticed something in this area about 6 years ago, but it wasn't until the high winds blew through this weekend that he uncovered this.
Through the salty foam, brushed up against the shore by a casual tide. Off in the distance sits this steel skeleton.
My mom showed me some little bit of wood where a chair probably was. Saw some weird stakes, so it probably was like a weird pulley thing that people used.
Much has rotted away to the point that the boat is unrecognizable.
What was that boat used for? Who were the people on the boat? What were they doing? How did it end up on the south shore of the Great Salt Lake? What was its final demise?
Oh, it's the part of a ship.
Questions that captivate the youngest explorers to longtime historians.
Is it a shipwreck with gold doubloon, or is it just a simple industrial working boat?
The Great Salt Lake, first used by the Native Americans, was then used by the pioneers to ship cargo.
Brigham Young attempted to establish a cattle ferry boat business between the mainland and the south shores of Antelope Island that never really materialized.
Dave Shearer, the park's manager here, says he believes the ship was a part of a larger fleet, like these boats found across the lake.
They were taking a lot of logs up to the railroad causeway or the railroad. At the same time, they were taking stuff from the railroad back down to the mining camp.
Not many clues were left in the rusted remains.
But it's still fascinating to go down there and take a look at it.
But buried in the silt and salt water is another piece of Utah's history.
It's inside a place which I never think that a shipwreck would find its way inside.
Shearer says he can look through old newspapers to see if there's any information on this ship and its story. He also says there are dozens like this one out across the Great Salt Lake. From the Great Salt Lake, Aaron Cox, Fox 13 News, Utah.